all the people there are so nice, very supportive. Yeah, there are those people who are judgmental and are kind of dicks.
What's up, all you auto enthusiasts out there? Buckle up for a unique experience where we have custom vehicles and their owners share the spotlight in our studio. Have you ever seen a cool ride and wondered who the owner is or what the history is behind the build? On today's episode of Tailpipe Talk, we'll be speaking with Ethan, who goes by Gypsy the Red Devil on Instagram. We'll get to know more about Ethan and what inspired him to build his 2006 RX-8. Ethan, what's up, man?
What up?
How you doing?
I'm doing great.
Well, before we get into the car, tell us a little bit about yourself.
All right, so I never really thought about getting into cars. My dad was the one that actually got me into it, pretty much. I was always interested in things that move, that have wheels, but I never really got into it until my dad got me into racing.
Gotcha.
When I was, I believe, around 9, my dad got me into go-kart racing. And
Very cool.
So for the first couple years of my life, I did a lot of sports, but none of them really stuck. I did baseball, soccer, football, wrestling, all that.
Yeah.
But nothing really stuck like racing did.
Gotcha.
I never really lasted more than like 2 years with any sport that I did.
Right.
But I lasted with racing for probably about 9 years.
Oh, wow.
So
A long time.
yeah. So
And you did karting that whole time?
Yes.
Yeah?
So karting was the one thing that actually got me interested in sports, and that was the only thing I was really interested in. And I started with a class called Tag Cadet. That was where I started. I think it was 9. I can't remember. But that's where I started, and it was a lot of fun. It was a new beginning for my dad and I to do something together. It was something to get us closer.
Yeah.
It was a lot of fun, and I didn't think much of it until I went up to the next class, which I believe was Rotax. Actually, no, it was Yamaha. And that was when I started competing against better drivers and going to different locations to race. And then my dad and I decided, you know what, let's get a second cart and race that and race 2 carts.
Right.
So we got a Rotax, which was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
So I didn't really get a lot of first places. I wasn't the best driver, but I did do very well. I did compete at a competition called, what's it called? Let's see. Down in Lockhart.
Okay.
It was a state championship against like some of the top name drivers and everything. I think this was back in, I want to say 2012 or something, 2013. And the whole weekend was just not very good practice or qualifying runs. I think I qualified, 18th out of 20.
Yeah.
And then the next day it rained, it was freezing cold, and I managed to, by the end of the race, get up into 4th.
Oh, wow, that's pretty impressive, actually.
Yeah. And then when I pulled into the pits, I couldn't feel my hands. They were so cold. My dad came up to me, I was like, I can't feel my hands. But that's what pretty much got me into racing and to cars. And the thing that actually got me out of it was, one, school. I was in high school, and I started focusing more on school and grades. But the other thing that got me out of it was a huge wreck that I had during practice. So we were going around the opposite direction of the track, which is not an unusual thing. I was used to it at the time. But there was a lot of slower drivers on the track as well, and I was trying to go on the inside of someone. He didn't see me, and I clipped his rear tire, and knowing that they're open-wheeled cars, they're very dangerous when you clip tires. And before, I've actually flipped someone because I clipped his tire and he flipped right over.
Wow.
And that's exactly what happened to me.
Gotcha.
So I was lucky enough to have like a $400 neck brace that's saved me, but that's not what I think saved my life completely. I think it was God, because he was watching over me the whole time.
Yeah.
So just put this in perspective. The cart itself weighed about 250 pounds.
Yeah.
And then just clipping a tire, flipping right over. I flipped probably about 5 feet in the air, and it landed right on my head.
Wow.
And I slid right off the track. And
is there no roll bar or anything?
No, it's open top.
Wow.
The seat is so tight you don't move.
Yeah. Gotcha.
And when I got out of the car, here's the track. It's angled, and there's a huge slope at the back.
Yeah.
So I went right over it, and I didn't think anything of it. I got up fine, no bruises, no nothing. And I got up over that edge, and everyone was just running towards me. I was like, what's going on? I'm fine. And then later that day, my dad said he thought I died or had major neck damage. And that kind of put it into perspective, like, dang.
Yeah,
that could have
pretty scary.
Yeah, it was very scary. It put a lot of things in my head, like, wow. So I kind of just put that off to the side for a while and see what would happen. And
did you sustain any injuries? You were fine?
Yeah, I was fine. The only major injury I had was when I was racing Tag Cadet. I was out at DKC, Dallas Karting Complex, and I was at a championship there as well. And on one of the back straights, apparently there's this conspiracy or something that one of the drivers had it out for me, and he spun me out on that corner, and the guy behind him didn't have anywhere to go, and he slammed right into the side of me. And to the left of me, there's a starter box. So there's two buttons. There's a kill switch and a starter. So, and he shoved that all the way into my side. That's the only major injury that I ever had.
Yeah.
And it left a bruise probably about that big on my hip. So that's the only major thing that I had. But after that flip, I kind of just put go-karting to the side for a while just to get things in order with everything. So we kind of just gave up on that. We sold the cart a couple years back.
Did you? Yeah.
Yeah. So I kind of miss it. But yeah. But my first car was my dad's old Chevy 1500. I loved the truck. It had over 200,000 miles.
What year was it?
Oh, God. 2000.
Oh, nice.
So it was very nice. He bought it when it was brand new and everything. And he drove it. And I got it when I was 16.
Yeah.
And then I drove that for a year. I was like, dang, I can't drive this. It's too big. So we looked around, and I ended up buying a Miata.
Gotcha.
So, but I'll talk about that later. So, school-wise, I graduated from Newman Smith High School. I was the robotics captain for 2 years straight, junior and senior year. Freshman and sophomore year, I was a part of the wrestling team, but I wasn't able to compete sophomore year because I had foot surgery. Because, funny enough, it's not a very interesting story. I passed out at my house and I tripped over a stair and I...
Oh, really?
Yeah. And it caused major issues with my foot and I had to get surgery. So, and I wheeled around on a little scooter. So that was fun. I got to use the elevator in the school. So I was like, I get to ride in the elevator. Yes. Yeah. But high school went by, and then I got a scholarship to a university by Laterno. Okay. It's all the way down in Longview. It's probably about 20 minutes past Tyler.
Yeah.
I went out there for their welding program, which was called Materials Joining Engineering Technology, which I had a lot of experience welding with my dad, because my dad and I used to do a lot of welding around the house. And I kind of wanted to do a little bit of welding. So I went there for a semester, and I found out that there was way too much math involved, and I am not good at math. Like, I barely passed high school math. So I did that, welded there, and then I was taking trigonometry and pre-cal at the same time in one semester, and I failed both. Yeah. So I was like, this ain't for me. So I took a year off, and I worked at Discount Tire. I had my own apartment with my buddy from high school, and I lived out on my own for a little bit. And then I made the decision, you know what, I need to go back to my parents' place because I need to start saving money, go back to school and whatnot. And then I was still working at Discount Tire at the time. So I decided to go to Eastfield for their automotive program because one of my friends owns a Italian shop working on high-end Ferraris, Lamborghinis, that sort of stuff, and he recommended Eastfield. Yeah. So I went to. I'm actually currently going to Eastfield.
Oh, you are?
Yeah.
Okay, very
I've been there for a year already. I'm taking
Who's your instructor?
Well, my first year was Mr. Giles.
Okay.
He was very helpful. Got me into things, and now I'm taking an engine R&R class, which is remove and replace, repair or something. And today I actually removed a motor out of an RX-8. So,
did you?
Yeah. They had,
That's awesome.
Yeah, so they had an RX-8 just laying there from the Mazda dealer. They didn't know what to do with it. They were trying to figure out why it wasn't running. Yeah. So they just gave it to them, and just lo and behold, we kind of just got in the door. I was like, you know what, I'll do it. So we took that out.
It's a great group of guys over there at Eastville, and that facility is absolutely amazing.
Yes.
They have some state-of-the-art equipment that some shops don't even have. You
Yeah,
know?
so the first semester that I was doing, I was actually technically second semester, I was taking electronic diagnosis. They had these giant boards with just all the electronic components just laid out of the whole car. Right. And no other university has it. They have two of them. Yeah. Directly from the Toyota training program. Right. And it was awesome to see that. Yeah. So that's...
You know Raul? One of the instructors over there?
I can't say
I think he's in paint and body though.
Yeah, I don't think I'm gonna take paint and body yet. But they had those training boards, which was awesome. And then that's pretty much where I'm sitting now with school. And then that's pretty much to today right now. Yeah. So but I do have a girlfriend. We met probably about a year and a half ago, and funny enough, we actually met at a car meet.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, we did.
That's pretty awesome.
I know. We met at Petco.
Okay.
Yeah, that big meet. Yeah. We met there, and the whole story behind it was she wasn't capable of driving at that point. Yeah. So her friend drove her, and the funny thing is, my car actually got me in the door with her, which was funny.
Oh really?
Yeah. So
you hear that, guys? Customize the car, you'll get a girl. See, that's what he's saying. He went to a car meet, he meets his girlfriend. See, there's girls out there. Yeah. I mean, there are, you know?
So the funny thing is, I was a nerd in high school. Like, I was a big nerd. And this just proves the point. Like, the nerd can get the girl. You just have to be patient. Yeah. So she wanted to ride with me. So I took her home. We drove. I got her number. And we just started talking after that. And the rest is history, pretty much.
That's cool.
So...
That's very cool.
We just hit our first year May 20th.
Well, congratulations. That's awesome.
If you went to HIN the past Saturday, you would have seen her around because she was being one of the models. So
very cool.
That was her first modeling gig, and she did amazing. I am so very proud of her because she's been wanting to do something like that for a little while.
For a while, yeah.
And I'm just like, go for it.
Awesome.
I'm gonna support you all the way. And then she's actually wanted to go to school for makeup. Yeah. So she's wanted to do that, and I'm proud of her. I'm more than proud. So
very cool, man. That's actually where I first met you in person and saw the car in person was this last weekend at Hot Import Night. So we chatted for a little bit via social media, but that was the first time I seen the car and met you and your girlfriend. So it was cool. It was cool to finally meet you. There's so many people we only communicate. Maybe they're in Houston or San Antonio or somewhere else, or we'll have great dialogue but it's nice to finally meet people and like, oh, that's the car, Yeah,
I talked to a lot of other RX-8 guys around the country, and the thing is, I'm wanting to get all of the well-known social media RX-8s together in one place at one point.
That'd be cool.
I've been talking to a lot of guys. I'm gonna try to start a group chat to see when we can get somebody together and just bring everyone together. And hopefully it'll be one of these like once a year huge shows with just RX-8s or just straight rotaries in general. Sure. And I want to be able to do that because I think that would be huge. Yeah. I think that would be a lot of fun. And I've actually started my own meet here in Dallas.
Okay.
So you've seen that. You haven't been out, but it's just small right now.
And what's the name of your meet?
Just the Night Fury meet.
Okay.
Night Fury is the car team that I started recently.
Gotcha.
I used to be a part of Divine. I'm still a part of the family in a way.
Sure.
But I decided just to maybe start my own team, see
Yeah.
where that goes.
Now, are you open to all years, makes, and models? Or
Yes.
you? Yeah. Okay.
All makes and models. We're looking more for show cars to go to shows.
Yeah.
But most importantly, we're all about family.
Yeah.
So as long as you are supportive of the family and just kind of vibe with us really, really well,
Sure.
you're more than welcome to join.
That's cool.
So,
Very, very cool.
but that's kind of where I'm at with my life right now.
Yeah.
So,
And then what do you do for work?
right now I'm actually out of work because
Okay.
I actually
So
quit.
you're just doing the school thing?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I quit Discount Tire probably about a month ago
Yeah.
because I've had problems with my back.
Gotcha.
And the thing is, I've thrown my back out 4 times there
Yeah.
over the past year and a half. And I've gone to chiropractor. The first 2 times, I went to the chiropractor 9 months straight,
Wow.
trying to get my back straightened out and everything.
Yeah.
Because working with big truck tires,
Right.
just the tires themselves weigh about 80 pounds, not
Yeah,
including
that's
the
incredible.
wheels.
Yeah.
So that's kind of, I was about to get up into sales, but even if I was up in sales, I would still have to work out in the back, moving
Right.
tires and everything. So I just literally just told my boss, hey, I can't, my back can't handle this anymore.
Yeah.
I've got to look for something else. He's like, I completely understand.
Once you start looking, what are you interested in getting into?
So I'm trying to start my own little business of welding.
Okay.
Because I just got a new welder for MIG, TIG, and stick. So
Gotcha.
I just got that. We still have to get a plug for the TIG welder because we don't have a big enough outlet for it.
Yeah.
But I've been trying to get guys to come to me. Billy with the FRS, he's trying to get part of the exhaust made and stuff for his roof box made. So I'm going to be doing that fairly soon. I have to get some measurements for that. But
Very cool, man. Very cool.
and then I want to eventually open up my own auto body or automotive shop
Yeah.
just for like modifying and tuning cars, and then eventually do some wrapping and just welding in
Yeah.
general. So I'm not sure where I'm going to do that. My parents are going to be moving out to, where is it? It's like halfway between here and San Antonio. I can't.
Okay.
And their friends have a winery down there. And
Yeah.
They're going to be moving down there. They bought some land out there.
And you're going to stay here or you're going to go with them?
I'm not sure yet.
Yeah. And when are they moving?
5 years. So they
Oh,
just
okay.
bought
So you got some time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm going to try to.
You might be married with kids in 5 years. Shit.
Hopefully.
Hopefully. Okay. Well, I mean, hey, then it might be it happen.
Hopefully at least getting married.
Yeah.
Because Liz is perfect. Like she supports me in everything. She loves the car. She even has an RX-8 of her own.
Oh, she does?
Yes, she
Wow,
does.
that's pretty awesome.
Her first car was a Mini Cooper, and she straight piped that and everything.
Yeah.
I was like,
And that's a
oh
cool car
my
too, Mini
gosh.
Coopers.
When
That's
I
cool.
first met her, she's like, "Do you know I drive stick?" I was like, "No way."
Yeah.
So for a second, I didn't believe it.
Yeah.
But I let her drive this, and I'd never let anyone drive this,
Yeah.
and she did it perfectly.
Yeah.
She never stalled it once, and I was like, "Dang, this is the perfect girl." Like I was like, "Holy crap! How did I find her?"
Yeah.
But
Well, let's talk about your RX-8. So what year is it?
it's a 2006 Mazda RX-8 with the 13B Renesis engine. It has almost 100,000 miles on the motor, which is about all right for where it's at right now. It's still running all right. The motor's starting to go out like it usually does with all rotary motors. If you know anything about rotaries, they have apex seals. They don't use pistons. They use a triangle shape, and they have like seals on each corner that go out. It's just wear and tear on the motor,
Yeah.
so you lose compression with it. But that's the only really major performance thing. There's no performance mods to it besides just the exhaust. It's just fully straight pipe from the
Gotcha.
headers.
Gotcha.
It's custom made by Turn 5 Fabrication, which he's a great welder. I had it custom made with an oval section at the back because
Mm-hmm.
I'm sub low. That I used to have an HKS exhaust on it, but I was so low I just destroyed that thing. So I was like, you know what, I need to get custom made with an oval exhaust. So, and it sounds great. I love it.
It does sound good. It does sound good.
It's a little on the loud side, but I really don't care. If it's too loud, you're too old.
So wheels.
They're just TSW Sebrings.
Okay.
I used to have some ESR 901s, which were third hand, which were great. But I kind of like the black.
Yeah.
It kind of suits the car better, it accents it more. Eventually, I want to get some 3-piece wheels that are black with maybe a chrome lip or something.
Gotcha.
I do want to get a body kit for it, maybe a Pandem kit or something. I kind of want to go crazy with it.
Yeah.
But right now, since my daily, I can't really do that.
Yeah.
So.
And I assume it's coilover?
Yes.
Yeah. Coilover.
On Neomax Silvers. So the rears are maxed out. The rears aren't quite yet, but I can't go any lower. Otherwise, it's gonna hit the fender.
Yeah.
Or the top inside of the fender. So I'm as low as I can really go. So I want to go lower, but right now it's just not very practical as a daily.
Yeah.
So, but.
How about any other mods that we can't see?
So it's all just aesthetics right now. The first mod that I ever did to the car when I bought it was brakes. I can't remember the make of the brakes. I got them from Summit Racing. They're drilled and slotted rotors with just an upgraded caliper.
Gotcha.
I have the exhaust, but that's pretty much all you can't see. Interior stuff, I have some diamond floor mats, which sadly aren't made for the car. They're made for the Miata, but they fit all right for what they are. They're great. I love them. And then I have this steering wheel, which was custom made by Ozdan Tony.
Yeah.
I don't know if you know him, but he has
hold that up. That's pretty cool, actually.
So this is just a custom wood wheel. I can't remember the make of it. He didn't tell me. But it's custom made with fish and everything. I have an NRG quick release adapter. Sadly, this one doesn't ding. But it's great. It has a matching shift knob and everything. So
I really like the styling of the steering wheel, though. That's really neat.
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah.
He was getting rid of it. He has a black RX-8 that's static, and it's amazing. So you'll definitely have to look him up. That's pretty much it. And then there's the wrap, there's the wing.
Yeah.
That's
The wrap is super unique. I like the wrap.
I know,
It was made very cool styling.
Yeah, it was made by Swan Vinyl Works, and we've been working on it for a long time.
Yeah.
We worked out designs for probably 6 months trying to figure out what we were going to do, and then take another six months to put it on.
Yeah.
The first thing that we did was the hood, trying to get everything figured out with that, and then it took us like 2 days to get the rest of the wrap on because of how intricate it was.
Yeah.
Because you have to do the white base, you have to cut
Right.
that out, and then we did what else did we do?
The black overlays.
Yeah, we did the black overlays, and then we did the Japanese lettering, which says rotary performance or rotary power.
Gotcha.
But it translates weird, but it still says pretty much the same thing. I wish it could translate perfectly into what I was wanting to, but that's...
And what were you wanting?
Rotary power.
That's what you wanted?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it still translates to that.
Yeah.
It's just Japanese. It's hard to translate something into Japanese because it's hard to get everything to translate correctly.
Gotcha.
Because a lot of people were like, it doesn't translate correctly to what you're saying. It translates weird. I was like, I know.
Yeah.
I know I'm not perfect. I really want it to translate perfect, but it's just one of those things where it's hard.
It's all good. It's all good. You know what it's meant to say, right?
Yeah.
That's what matters. That's what matters. So what are the future mods for it? What are your plans with it?
Big shows, that's for one.
Yeah.
Eventually, I do want to go on bags. I want to have a full trunk setup with the air tank, compressors, with a large sub.
Yeah.
There's a good spot. There's an indentation in the trunk where I can put a sub in there, and then bag setup and everything. I do want to go a wide body kit. I'm not sure which one I want to go for.
Yeah.
I might do the Veilside body kit, and then I might not do the Veilside rear bumper.
Yeah.
But I do want to do like kind of like a Frankenstein body kit build.
Right.
Because I think that would be very unique and be very cool. I do want to do like a full cage on the interior, race seats, the whole shebang. And then engine-wise, I do want to swap in a 20B with a big turbo, probably going like 65 mil turbo. Try to push around 600.
Yeah.
Reliably.
Yeah.
There's nothing reliable out of a rotary. So they go out anytime, no matter how well you drive it or how well you take care of it. But engine-wise, that's kind of what I do. I don't want to dress up the engine, do as much detail in it as possible. Maybe even do a hood exit or a fender exit with the exhaust. Wheels, I'm not sure what wheels do I want to get, but I know I want to get 3-piece with a huge lip.
Yeah.
Just a lot of other things.
I got you.
But
Sounds like a pretty robust list there. Yeah.
very expensive too.
Now, before we started, you mentioned, I think you have a Miata, right?
I do.
Okay.
I do have an NC Miata. It's a 2007. I got that junior year, and then I had that for a year until the day before senior year started. I spun a rod bearing. So I was riding with my buddy. We went on the highway, and I heard this knocking, and it lost a lot of power. I was flooring it. It wasn't going anywhere. So we pulled over, and I heard this loud knocking. I was like, you gotta be kidding me. Please tell me I didn't blow my motor. I wasn't leaking any oil. I was like, good. I didn't blow through the block. So I was like, I could probably limp it home. So I got it home. It was still knocking. I was like, what the heck is going on with it?
Yeah.
So my dad and I was like, you know what? Don't drive it anymore. Don't do anything crazy with it. So we just parked in the driveway. And then I started looking for a new car. And then I found out about the RX-8.
Yeah.
And the funny thing is, my cousin actually had one a couple years before I bought this one. And I didn't know what it was. I didn't know anything about it. But I started researching this. And I was like, rotary engines, I've heard that before. I've heard a lot about them. I was like, that would be pretty cool to work with. So I did probably about 3 months of research, getting into knowing what the rotary is, backstory behind the car, because I always loved the RX-7. And then I found out about the RX-8. I was like, it's a heck of a lot cheaper, and it still has the same motor.
Yeah.
So I was like, you know what? Do my research. It's an entry-level rotary car. I was like, this is going to be fun.
Yeah.
So, and then probably about like 5 miles down the road, we found one at Texas Cars. It's right in Addison. They had 2 of them. They had one that was just a base model with no sunroof, vinyl seats, and no like factory wing. They had this one, which had the performance or the better package, sunroof, wing, and the leather seats. So I was like, the first thing we test drove was a Jetta. It was manual. It was really fun, really fast. It was turboed. So we went in there, and my dad's like, let's look at this. I was like, okay. So went out to test drive it. It was manual, but it had no mechanical feel of the clutch. Like, it was just on off. I was like, I was like, why? I was like, it was fast. It was fun. It was reliable, but I was like, I can't feel the clutch. Like, there's no fun in not feeling the clutch. Like, you drive a manual to feel the car. Like, I couldn't feel the car.
Right.
Like, so then I test drove this. I was like, instantly I fell in love. Instantly.
Yeah.
Because it was so smooth. I could feel the whole car. I could just connect with it.
Right.
And it was awesome. Like, the car itself is so planted. When this came out, it was competing with Porsche and Maserati on the track, and it was beating them.
Oh, really? I had no idea.
Yeah, so the suspension on this car, and it was just well put together.
Yeah.
Very, very well put together. You could literally take this thing out on the track. You could put some race tires on it. That's it.
Yeah.
Maybe some coilovers and just go at it. You won't have to do anything else to the car because the suspension is so well built. It's so balanced.
Yeah.
Like, the engine is like behind the front wheels, which puts the balance completely perfect. And you can just feel it. It just wants to move.
Yeah.
It doesn't have the speed, but it has the handling capability of competing with big name cars, which a lot of people don't know. And it's a lot of fun.
Have you done any racing with it?
Not per se, but I have.
Or not that you want to say on camera anyway.
I have been caught for street racing though.
You have?
Yeah. So
I'm guilty of that too.
yeah. So this was out in Longview.
Yeah.
And it's a tiny town.
Yeah.
And the bad thing was, I never even got above the speed limit.
Yeah.
Because the speed limit on the main road was, I think, 65.
Yeah.
I didn't get up to 60.
Yeah.
So, but the bad thing was, like, a month prior, 2 people were street racing. They crashed and they killed 2 people.
Gotcha.
So they cracked down on street racing tremendously.
Yeah.
And I was one of the ones that kind of got the bad side.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, that's so different. So when I say I'm guilty for street racing, I mean, I'm 47 years old. So
Right.
this is like 20 plus years ago, easily, right?
Yeah.
So street racing for us was a lot different than street racing now.
Yeah.
I feel like it's almost everywhere, right? You pull up next to a fast car, it doesn't matter if it's at, middle of town or
Right.
on the highway.
You just
they're
nod and go at it.
They're
Yeah.
going for it, you know?
Yeah, you just look at each other,
Like
nod.
street racing for us was like a very small group of people.
Right.
We would find some deserted roads somewhere, like farm
Yeah.
country, corn on either side, and just go down that road, middle of the night. So it's a lot
It's
different.
hugely different.
It's a lot different. So
that stuff is still around, which is awesome.
yeah, absolutely.
But Super Slow, that club, they go down and just go at it.
Yeah.
For all night.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna disclose the times.
Sure,
But
sure.
or location, but they just go at
Yeah.
it. A lot of the time it's just invite only.
Yeah. Sure.
But I've heard a lot of stories about it, and it sounds insane.
Yeah.
But street racing nowadays, it's completely different,
Yeah.
especially with these takeovers, which I'm just like, what's going on with that? Like, why? I don't even want to get into it.
It's definitely a topic that we touch base on frequently.
Yeah.
It's unfortunate. I know the people that are in it, they enjoy it, and there's a reason why they enjoy it. And I'm not gonna lie, it looks fun, right? I mean, forget the shooting and like people getting hit, but I'm talking about taking your car and like whipping donuts. I mean,
Right.
that's
Just not in an intersection.
Part.
Just not in an
intersection. Not on the highway. Not with people in the middle.
Right.
Like find a different location
And have it
find
blocked
where
off.
it's a lot safer.
Yeah. Like a old parking lot or something.
Yeah.
Just don't have people around you.
Yeah. So,
But
I don't know. It's hard because I think, again, I'm much older than the younger generation,
Right.
and I thought just like them, it's never going to happen to me. I'm invincible. This is just cool. And,
Right.
You're in the moment and you're excited, and all of a sudden you hear a gunshot. All of a sudden somebody gets run over. Like you're beating up a cop car, mob mentality. It's just a lot of craziness and chaos. And that's the part that's really disturbing,
Yeah.
Not to mention you have hundreds of people, maybe that are in an intersection that are blocked from getting home to their kids, getting to work, maybe
Right.
there's an emergency. It affects so many different people when they do that on a highway or an intersection,
Yeah.
If you're in some commercial area, if you're in some cul-de-sac, deserted area, whatever, you want to do that, go do that somewhere else. But and then getting in the middle of the ring and trying to get close and stuff.
trying to get that one shot.
Crazy, like how many people get hit and hurt or killed.
Like how many times is it gonna take for you to get it through your head that it's not very smart?
Yeah, it's but again, it goes to that younger mentality. And I was there. I did stupid shit when I was a kid. I'm like, looking back, I'm like, how am I here today? Like, how am I still alive?
Right.
Like some of the shit that I did, I'm like, I should have probably died, but that's how we think when we're young. We're like, nah, it's not going to happen to me.
Right. It just takes one slip up and it'll happen.
That's right.
But
So back to the car. We tend to get sidetracked a little bit when we talk about stuff.
that's all right.
What's the mod that you're probably most proud of on the car?
Ooh.
The one that you like the most, the one that,
Man. Probably the exhaust.
Exhaust?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The first
we get that answer a lot, I think, is the exhaust, just because you can hear it.
Yeah,
the sound,
yeah. And plus, the second would probably be the coilovers because it just looks so much better.
Yeah.
The car because when I first bought the car, there was probably about that much wheel gap.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it looked like a monster truck.
Gotcha.
So I'm just like, coilovers.
Yeah.
Now.
Yeah.
So the thing that actually forced me to get coilovers was that my rear shocks were going out. Mm-hmm. So I was like, you know what, coilovers, now, do it.
Yeah.
So I put coilovers on it. It looked a heck of a lot better just with the stock ride height.
Yeah.
I was like, wow. So I was like, you know what, screw it, lower. And I went lower. It's kind of like a disease. Like, you go lower, it's like, it's not low enough.
Yeah.
Not low enough. So you go lower. It's like, it's not low enough.
Right.
Just drop it all the way down.
Yeah.
Max it out. So I did. I was like, yes.
Yeah.
And I was like, it's still not low enough.
That's funny.
So I'm maxed out on the rear coilovers.
I mean, it looks good though.
I love it.
It's tucked in there nice and tight, and I mean, it looks good. I like everything low though. I mean, I'm the low guy. I'm not really into the 4-wheel drives or anything like stock height. It's got to sit low. What was your very first mod on it?
The brakes.
The brakes.
Besides that, it was the wheels, I think.
Okay, brakes and wheels.
Actually, no. It was actually the exhaust. I put an electric cutout in the exhaust.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And after I lowered the car and put wheels on it, I just smacked that thing all over the place. And the motor was probably about that big and was like that long.
Yeah.
And it was in a really tight spot. And I just whacked the crap out of it all the time. And then one day I was like, why isn't it working? Like, and I looked under there, the motor's just like bent in half. I was like, permanent cutout, let's do it.
Yeah.
So I did that. And then it just went on from there. It's just modifying cars it's a disease. That's what you can.
Amen to that. Yes, it is. I joke with a lot of people. They should make support groups for people like us because either we're buying. It's for real though, man. People don't understand. Like, if you're not in cars, you'll never understand. Just like if I'm not into fishing or hunting or sports, I don't understand the addiction.
Right.
But there's people who sit there and watch sports religiously, and they don't ever miss a game. I don't understand that, but I don't have to. I'm not into it, right? That's their thing. But it's the same thing with cars or car guys, car girls. It is truly an addiction, either customizing, buying, selling, flipping cars, being around cars, being around the people. It's like you need like a fix, you know? So it's like, what am I gonna do next?
Yeah,
so,
what's the next thing I gotta spend money on? Like, I need the money, but I want to spend money on parts.
Right.
Like, it's just one of those things. Like, girlfriend get mad at you.
Yeah.
With getting car parts, or keep her happy and take her out to dinner.
There you go.
Car parts.
Yeah. This isn't gonna be around very long.
Yeah. So a while back, I ordered an NRG seat.
Yeah.
And I was low on money. And I told her, she's like, don't tell me how much it was. I was like, $400. She's like, you weren't supposed to tell me that.
Yeah.
She's like, how could you need the money? I was like, I wanted to see it more. But then I realized it, so I was like, I need the money more. So I was like, hey, can you just cancel my order? I need the money.
It is a tough choice because, you want to be responsible, but you want to fix up your car, and I mean,
it's a hard balance to get both of them correct.
It is.
It's definitely a struggle when you don't have much work and you don't have much income.
Yeah.
And we have all these dreams, but you don't have the money for it.
Yeah.
And I know that firsthand, and it sucks.
But that education is important too. Get done with the education, find what you're good at, get a job, and you'll be fine, dude. You're still so young though. You know what I mean? You're so young. So you'll get there before you know it, man. You'll get there.
Yeah.
Have your own shop one day, customizing cars, welding everything up. I mean, that's how everybody starts. That's how everybody starts.
Everyone starts at the bottom.
That's right.
You gotta make your way up.
That's right. So, we touched base earlier on the car scene. Well, maybe not the car scene, but the bad part of
Right,
the car scene. What would you say one of your favorite events has ever been that you've gone to?
So I've never actually been to too many events.
Okay.
The first actual show that I put my car in was IFO this past year.
Oh, okay.
So that was my first ever show that I put the car in.
Yeah.
And man, oh man, it's so much fun.
Yeah.
I've never experienced something like that. And to actually, because my dad and I have gone to a couple shows together, and I can't remember what show it was, but it was at the same place Hot Import Night was this past
Dallas Market Hall.
Yeah, Dallas Market Hall.
And for those of you who do not know what IFO is, it's Import Face Off.
Right.
So
yeah. So I went to a show with my dad at the Dallas Market Hall, and it was just import cars everywhere. And I was like, I am in love.
Yeah.
Like my dream was to be able to put a car into a show like that, but I never thought I'd be able to.
Yeah.
I was like, this is so much fun. Like, there's so many nice cars. I was like, how am I ever going to be able to do this? How am I ever going to be able to build a car to actually compete with these people?
Sure.
And then this past weekend, I was like, holy crap, I'm actually here.
Right.
Like, it was so surreal.
Yeah.
Almost like I'm in a place where my car is competing against all these other really nice cars.
Right.
And I was like, wow, I made it.
Yeah.
And I'm still not there yet. I still have the mentality, I want to go further.
Sure.
I want to take this further. I want to get sponsored. I want to get better parts. I want to do all this. I want to be able to win.
Yeah.
And just the first step is getting in the door.
Yeah.
And getting accepted into Hot Import Nights and Import Face Off. I'm just like, holy crap, this is so cool.
Yeah.
But the car scene in general, it's very supportive. All the people there are so nice, very supportive. Yeah, there are those people who are judgmental and are kind of dicks. Yeah. Just to put it nicely. But overall, it's a great scene.
Yeah.
Like, people going to regular meets.
Sure.
Like, just hanging out with other guys, talking about cars all night. It's so much fun.
Yeah.
And you won't really find a family like that any other. Because we're so tight-knit.
Yeah.
We know pretty much every other guy. Because I meet people all the time. There's like, do you know this guy? I'm just like, yeah, I know him too.
Yeah.
Like, it's so tightly woven. And there's always the ability to bring new people in and teach them new things.
Absolutely.
Like, it's so crazy to see, like, really crazy guys with crazy builds bring in the newer guys.
Right.
Teaching them how to do certain things, helping them out with things, teaching them. And it's awesome to see something like that, because there's other things out there that have nothing like that.
Yeah. And I agree with you. I think that's something, you know, with this being our 7th episode, we've literally touched base on that almost every episode, that I don't think there's anything out there in the world that's like the car community, right?
Yeah.
It's worldwide. You know, you can be into sports, you can be into other stuff, but the community and the acceptance of people, you know, worldwide, it doesn't matter if you're into hot rods or imports or lifted trucks or mini trucks. You know, if you're really passionate about the scene, you accept everybody. You may not agree with the build, or you may not build that yourself for you, but, you know, you put in the same time, effort, blood, sweat, tears into your build as maybe somebody else. You know, some of them are more expensive than others. Some of them are, you know, more custom than others, or unique, you know. But, you know, the passion is there, and that's the one thing that we all share. So I agree with you, and it's good to hear that, you know, the automotive scene, especially for you, has been accepting, and like, you know, it's been easy for you. And, you know, as far as the haters, that just comes with the territory. You know, there's always going to be people who are going to be mad. Oh, why he's got a nicer car, you know, this or that, or just doesn't make any sense. It takes too much energy to be negative.
Yeah, what I think is, I just think people like to hate on people
Yeah.
because they can't have it.
Yeah.
Like they don't have the skill to do it, or they just don't like it in general. I'm just like,
or if it's too nice,
Yeah.
daddy and mommy bought that for you or whatever.
Yeah.
It's like
why
you gotta go there? You know what I mean?
like, why do you have to be so negative towards
Yeah.
people when they've put a lot of hard-earned money, sweat, tears
absolutely.
into something
Absolutely.
that really matters to them?
Yeah.
Like,
I get the most laughs out of the comments on on social media. It's like, really?
Yeah.
You're sitting behind a private account, you haven't posted a damn thing, and here you're hating on people's builds and talking trash. It's like, really? Who are you anyway? So
yeah,
it's
I've had a couple people do that
It's
to me. I'm
hilarious.
just like, I look at their page, I'm just like, who are you to judge my car when
right.
you're not even in the car scene?
So, speaking of yesterday at Race Wars, so I was racing my truck, my crew cab, right? Manual 6-speed. It's not fast. I know it's not fast, but I'm like, I'm here. Why not, right? So my son is recording, and next to my son, and they don't know that he's my son. I'm in the car, I'm driving, and 3 kids are just talking trash like, oh, we're gonna post this. He's gonna look like such a fool going so slow, blah, blah, blah. And they're just talking trash, right? And my son restrained himself and didn't say a word, but he's standing right there. He's like, why are these guys even talking shit? Like, what is wrong with these people, you know? And granted, the truck isn't fast, but I didn't build it to go down the track, you know? But my son wanted to say something, and he makes me laugh. And he came over, he's like, Dad, I almost went to jail for you. I almost beat somebody up. I'm like, it's not necessary. But he was making me laugh. He's like, I restrained myself, but boy, did I want to say something. So, but it's funny. You know, people are gonna talk trash. You know,
It's just one of those things that you have to put up with.
You can't listen to it. You can't pay no mind. So yeah. You go to now. You met your girlfriend at the Petco meet about a year and a half ago. Do you go to a lot of meets now?
As of right now, a lot of the meets have been kind of just gone out because of all the shenanigans that have been going down. Because Petco, like, police are always there. Like, every time people are there, they always shut it down because of how crazy it was.
Gotcha.
I was there one time when this guy, like, sped down the lane, and this cop just ran out yelling to stop his car. I was like, this is stuff that shouldn't be happening.
Absolutely.
Like,
I agree.
It's a time to just enjoy the night, have some fun, look at some cool cars, and just have fun, talk about stuff, cars. So.
Yeah, we hear that more and more as far as the car scene. I guess there's some meets here and there that are pretty solid, pretty steady, and they haven't had any issues. Thank God. But that is the unfortunate part, because people try, or police shut it down because they're trying to shut it down before something happens. But I think there's always going to be car meets, though.
Yeah, because high octane has kind of just slowed down too, because it used to be pretty big.
Yeah.
And that's actually the first meet that I ever went to.
Gotcha.
Was high octane.
Gotcha.
And I'm still great friends with the guys. We don't talk as much as we used to, but it was a great meet. We had a lot of fun, but it was kind of just shut down because a lot of people just don't want shenanigans going on, like excessive revving.
Right. Oh yeah. Yeah, for sure.
I was a victim of that. I did that when I first bought the car.
Yeah. Oh, you're that guy.
But the thing is, I knew the guy that ran the meet.
Yeah.
And he always called me over when they were excessive revving because I always showed him up.
Yeah.
I was the one that was shooting 6.5-foot flames out the back of my car, just showing everyone up, making them shut up.
Yeah.
That's one of the things that really got me known in the car scene in the first place, was being able to
flames?
shoot without a tune. Like, my car isn't even tuned, it pops, flames, everything. And people's like, bro, is it tuned? I was like, no. It's like, bro, no way. It's like, yeah.
That's funny. Yeah.
But yeah, everyone, every time I pulled up to that meet, everyone was like, two-step. I'm just like, I don't have two-step.
Yeah.
But everyone's like, shoot flames. I'm just like, I can't right now. My motor's bad.
Yeah. That's that. I mean, again, being older, there's things I don't understand, right?
Right.
And I don't want to sound like my dad, like, oh my God, kids these days, you know. But I mean, it is cool to watch, right?
Yeah.
I don't understand it. I don't know how it works. I'm not, into that. But it is cool to watch. And there's definitely a time and a place for it and all that stuff.
Right.
When you start revving at meets and, and then it kind of, sometimes it ruins it for other people. But
Yeah.
it is cool. It is cool to watch. I know a lot of, matter of fact, I think Race Wars even had a 2-step competition.
Really?
I believe so. Some of them do that competition stuff. So, but it's cool. It's very cool. So your cars can still shoot flames now?
Yeah, not as big. Probably
Yeah.
about 3-foot flames. Probably less.
Not bad though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But not as crazy.
Yeah.
But eventually, when I do get a new motor, I do want to get it tuned. I do want to get a flame tune and a pop tune and the whole shebang. Just make it louder and better.
Very cool. Very cool. All right. So we've talked about your car. We've talked about the car scene a little bit.
Right.
So we're going to talk a little bit more about you. Now, I think you said earlier that it was the karting that got you involved in the cars. Was that really what started the passion into the car scene and building cars?
It was definitely one of them.
Yeah.
I was always, since I was young, I always loved things that were moving.
Yeah.
I always loved cars. But the main thing that actually got me into it was definitely go-karting.
Yeah. Gotcha.
But it was just a bunch of different things combined. Just at a young age, I was always just into cars, everything that moved, and
Yeah.
so that was where it pretty much all began, and then it kind of just grew from there.
Very cool. Very cool. And your dad, is he into cars? Does he customize
Yes,
cars?
he actually has a C7.
Okay.
And he puts it in shows. It's sunrise orange, I believe, and he does.
I like that color too.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Very cool.
It's beautiful, and he's done a little bit of customization to it. He's spiffed up the engine bay, and he's won a couple awards from Corvette shows and things too.
Nice.
And they are actually ordering a C8.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Is he going to get rid of the C7?
No, he's going to keep it.
Yeah.
So, and then
Is he primarily a Corvette guy? Is that what he prefers?
He wants, for the most part, kind of.
Yeah.
He's definitely into cars too.
Yeah.
He does want an Ariel Atom, which, yes, I want one. They're so cool.
Yeah.
Street legal go-kart, pretty much, on
Absolutely.
steroids.
Absolutely.
Yes, please.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's into cars as well, and he wants to build his own hot rod eventually. But it's just a matter of time and money.
Yeah.
He, with the land that they bought, he is going to build his own shop out there with all his tools, machines, and everything, and maybe build his own car.
Yeah.
Maybe one of those like crate cars.
Right.
Yeah.
Yep.
Maybe the that Cobra or something, maybe.
Yeah.
But he would love to build his own car. So
that'd be pretty cool. You said you had a Miata.
Mm-hmm.
You have this one, and then did you do much to the Miata as far as customizing it?
just wheels.
Just wheels?
And then I did straight pipe it before the rod bearing went out.
Gotcha.
So
you've been customizing since your very first vehicle.
Well, second vehicle.
Second vehicle.
I had my dad's truck, which I didn't.
You didn't do anything to?
No. Sadly, I kind of wish I straight piped it, but I don't think my dad would have liked that.
Yeah.
The funny story behind that is we went all the way out to Texoma to go look at the Miata.
Gotcha.
I had no idea that we were gonna buy it.
Yeah.
We went to look at it. We test drove it. I loved it.
Yeah.
It was very nice, very clean. And we went inside, and my dad literally just looked over me like, "Get your stuff out of the truck." I was like, "Hold up, what?" He's like, "Yeah, we're getting in the car." I was like, "Really?" He's like, "Yeah, we're taking it home today." It's like, "All right, looks like we're going home." And that was That was actually my first time driving manual in person, because I knew how to drive manual.
Yeah.
But I've never actually done it in person.
Yeah.
And my dad's like, "You're driving it home." I was like, "All right." I didn't stall it once.
Oh, that's good.
So I was like,
good.
Bet.
Yeah.
So it was a lot of fun. I might have stalled it once. I can't remember, but it was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
It's a very, very fun car.
Yeah.
So the only thing I'm gonna really do to it is probably just put coilovers on it and just lower it just a tad. I'm not going crazy like this.
And how far are you to completing the car and getting it back on the road?
Just doing fluids, changing oil, putting
Okay.
coolant in, flushing the gas, and that's it. Well, besides getting it registered and everything. So
Okay.
So it's pretty much there. I'm probably going to be getting it roadworthy within this week.
Oh, very cool.
So-
very cool.
That's the goal, because I want to put this into storage
Yeah.
and get a lot of the things done, fixed to it.
Sure.
Like, I have some things with the alignment issues. I need to re-weld my exhaust because I rubbed a hole in it because my hanger broke.
Gotcha.
Got to fix that. Alignment needs to be fixed. Fitment issues. There's just a lot of little different things. There's some vibrations coming on with the car. But it's just one of those things I have to just diagnose. And
Oh yeah.
it's just going to be
Yeah.
a weekend car at this point.
It's a never-ending list.
Yeah, it's just one thing after the other. Like, just keep scrolling
On
down.
my
just
phone,
keep
you know
going
that
down.
little notes section?
Yeah.
I have a list of like 25 items. Mr. Chevy to-do list. It's like every time I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm adding more than I'm actually completing on the list. And it just keeps growing and growing and growing. So
It's just one of those things.
yeah,
It's just one of those
people will
things.
say, "Man, I just got my car done. It's completely 100% restored, blah, blah, blah." Or out of the shop. I'm like, "Yeah, they're never done.
Yeah.
You'll find something to do with it."
Yeah, they just
So-
keep it out of the back of their head. They don't
Exactly.
just say it. They don't
Exactly.
say it. They
Yeah.
want to keep it a secret. Be
Yeah.
like,
So outside of your dad, is there anybody else in your family that's into cars?
not really.
No.
My mom's going to be driving the C8. She wants something a little less practical. She's the designer. So
Okay.
she's always had a car that's a sedan to carry around
Yeah.
all of her designs and
Yeah.
things. But she's starting to want something less practical. Because
Gotcha.
she's always driven big cars.
Sure.
And she wants something fast, sporty.
Awesome.
So they're still going to keep the sedan just to have like a family
Yeah.
car. But she's going to get a C8. I can't remember what the name of the color is, but it's like a deep red. And it's beautiful.
Gotcha. Gotcha.
It's going to be a couple months before we'll be able to get it, but I have no idea where we're going to put all the cars in the driveway. I park out front as it is.
Yeah.
Because the Miata's in the garage. My dad's car we built an awning in the back to hold at least 3 cars underneath the awning, because my dad's vet is outside covered, my dad's truck, my mom's car, and then my Miata is taking up the whole garage right now. And very soon it'll be out, so my dad can put the vet in the garage. I'll have the Miata out front, RX-8 in the back. But I have no idea where we're going to put the CA. Probably park both of my cars out in the front now. Okay. But
You have to figure that out.
yeah.
So, do you, in the car scene, are there any like influencers or celebrities that you like, that you watch?
The main person that I usually watch is Adam LZ. I've been watching his videos since he pretty much started.
Okay.
With the Cream S13, man, that thing was clean. And I've been watching him ever since, just watching him grow with drifting and everything. And I really want to get into drifting. I just don't have the money for it.
Sure.
Occasionally, I admit, I do drift around all the streets.
Yeah.
Not all the time. But it's just the feeling of just sliding around. I want that feeling all the time. It's
I'm with you 1,000%, man. I like pitching a car sideways.
Yeah.
There's a good there. It's a fun feeling. I mean, it really is, and having control of it. I always looked at drifting like you're making your car dance, right? You drift in and
it's right on the balance of chaos and beauty.
Yes, absolutely.
Like, it's like when you're driving, you're just like, holy crap, but at the same time, this is so cool.
Yeah.
This is so cool. At the same time, I was like, I don't want to crash. I don't want to crash. Don't hit the curb. Don't hit the curb. But at the same time, like, damn, I look cool.
Yeah. Yeah, it is pretty fun.
I admit I've spun out into oncoming traffic a couple times.
Yeah.
And I was like, that was so much fun though.
Yeah. I survived.
Yeah. But I do want to get into drifting. I just don't have all the money that I need.
Yeah, it's all expensive. Vehicles, customizing, drifting, racing, you know, it's all expensive.
Yeah.
So,
When the rod bearing spun on the Miata, my dad and I was like, let's just make it into a full-blown drift car at this point. Full cage, gutted,
right.
suspension, everything. We never really managed to do it because at that point, this was starting to become less reliable, and I kind of wanted something more reliable. So the Miata is very reliable as it is. I just pushed it a little too hard, I guess.
Gotcha.
But I do want to get into drifting, and I do drift on video games a lot because it's so much fun.
Yeah.
You just with video games, it's fun.
Yeah.
In person, it's even more fun. And I've never been to an official drift event, but I really want to go.
Urban Drift is coming up.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah, I think mid-June or early June.
All right.
July. Maybe July. Urban Drift, right? Yeah, so it's coming up. Next couple weeks, I think.
I'll definitely have to
So
try to go
Urban
out
Drift,
there.
Texas Motor Speedway. Last year, I think it was last year or the year before I had gone out there. It was a pretty good event. So might be worth checking out. So my last and usually my favorite question, having built a custom vehicle, what advice would you have for somebody just getting into it? Like buying their first car, you know, customizing it. Any advice, words of wisdom?
So pretty much, first of all, do your research.
Yeah.
Do your research on the car that you're kind of looking for. Do research on the modifications you can do to it, and then just follow your dream. Just do what feels natural to you. Don't let other people tell you what to do to your own car, because it's all, in the end, it's all for you.
Right.
It doesn't matter what other people think of it. It's all about what you feel. It's fun for you. Build it for yourself. Don't build it for other people to love.
Yeah.
And a lot of people don't understand that. And sometimes people just build a car just to build it, get money, sponsored, and build it for other people.
Yeah.
But it's not about that. It's about building it for you. It's about being free. Because when I modify my car, I feel free. I feel free to do what I want to do to my car. And it's such a good feeling to know that I'm doing it for me, and then at the same time, it's making other people happy.
Sure.
And a lot of people have come up to me and are like, bro, this car wants me to get an RX-8. It looks factory.
Right.
Like, when people saw the wing, there's like, did I come factory? And it's like, no. It's like, it looks like it came factory with it. I'm just like, thank you. I appreciate that. And just the love and support people give me is amazing. The reward is always unexpected. I wasn't expecting all the love that people were giving me or anything like that. It's just do what you feel like you want to do. Do what you love, no matter what kind of build it is.
Sure.
And like some people do crazy engine swaps with Japanese cars with a giant V8 in it. Yeah. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Do what you love doing. It's in the end, it's all about fun. And it's just don't let other people tell you what to do.
No outside influence. Do what you want to do to the car.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, it is an extension of your personality, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it comes through in the car.
Yeah.
So.
It's always good to ask for advice on what choices to make and what kind of wisdom do you need, because it's not always the best idea to go balls deep with a turbo and blow your motor.
Right.
At least you learn from your mistake.
Yeah.
But ask for guidance for it. Do some research behind it. sometimes it's a good idea to go balls deep.
Yeah.
Like I went balls deep with the suspension.
Right.
I just dropped it
Yeah.
without, because I had a fiberglass Mazda speed bumper when I dropped it.
Yeah.
Destroyed it.
Yeah.
I still have it. I just need to repair it. But I was so low, it just cracked the crap out of it again. I was like, well, I learned my lesson now.
Right.
But I was like, screw it. I get what I get.
Yeah.
But do your research. Have fun with it. Do your own thing. Make it unique. Make it unique to you. And the reward will come.
Right. Right.
In the end, people are going to come to support you no matter what.
Yeah.
So, but if anyone has any advice, I'm always open to help.
Awesome, man.
And I love helping other people with their cars or any advice or whatever. I love it when people come to talk to me about things because I love helping people.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And people will come to me all the time. I was like, bro, thank you for reaching out. I love helping. If you have any more questions, please don't feel free to come.
I'm the same way. If people ask me about my truck or anything I do, I'm always happy to help. You know, I always reply to everybody's message, and they're always very appreciative. Yeah. And they'll even say like, "Thanks for responding," right? And I'm sure a lot of people don't take the time to reply. You know, if you ask questions and stuff, but I'm the same way. I enjoy helping people. So, well, that's cool, man. It was an awesome experience having you on. Thank you so much for being part of our podcast and telling us your stories and the history of the RX-8 and what got you into the car scene. Really appreciate it.
I appreciate being on.
Absolutely, anytime. So, we're gonna wrap that up, and thank you so much for tuning in and listening. Hope you enjoyed our podcast. If you'd like to watch the video version and see the details of Ethan's RX-8, make sure to check us out on YouTube, Texas Show Promoters. Texas Show Promoters is the #1 source for all auto info, and also the largest community of enthusiasts in the state of Texas. Over 80,000 combined followers between Instagram and Facebook. And make sure to check out Texas Show Promoters and never miss an event again. Also, don't forget to subscribe to our podcast, as we'll have new episodes every Friday with some very cool builds and even cooler owners like Ethan here. If you have a custom vehicle, live in the DFW area, and would like to tell us your story, please reach out and let us know. Maybe it'll be your name on our marquee next time. Take care, guys. Peace.